Hello and welcome to Short Film Showcase. I'm Joe Johnson and we're going to be spotlighting a brand new short film, and we have some of the film's creators and writers right here. To my immediate left we have Alan Canning, we have Barb Schmidt, and Denver Roshan. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alan, you were what, the director, the creator in
Yeah.
a sense. Tell me what your role is in the production of this short
Well,
film.
we were in the process of covering one of the really great little side projects the Village Players Theater does called Playwrights at Work. They get a bunch of people together that write original plays, and then they put them on in a showcase kind of a format. Denver and I had the opportunity to be taping one of these showcases, and we saw a short one-act play called Twilight, which is actually ended up to be on the line. It's a
Not about vampires or anything like that. Not related,
we
right?
had to change the name.
Yeah.
No vampires in this.
Nobody sparkly.
But just a fantastic story. The leading lady that ended up being in the movie was also the leading lady on stage, Gertrude Fox. She's fantastic. So we got to editing this project, and I thought, God, what a great one-act play this is. But even better, what a better movie project it could be. And so we set forward and trying to break it up a little bit and kind of change it around a little bit. And then I contacted Barb, who is the writer of Twilight, and posed the situation of pulling it in as a movie short. And she seemed pretty receptive about the whole thing.
I thought it was kind of exciting.
We've had a ball doing it, that's for sure.
Barb, where did the idea of the original concept of Twilight come from? Was it based on any personal experiences you had, or?
You know, it came from the Twilight Zone TV show, or a memory I had of one show that really affected me, and that sparked the idea for this Twilight. And so it was kind of like I was writing my own Twilight Zone episode.
So you're a fan of the genre, the kind of sci-fi with the twist ending sort of a thing?
For this play.
Yeah.
For this play. I mean, I
Had a
like-
Rod Serling
Yeah, there
kind of
was-
a theme to it. It's
Yeah.
something that didn't carry over in the movie short, but worked really well for the play.
A lot of great, plays and musicals have been translated to film. Did you find any challenges with that?
Yeah, staging. We had to. Obviously, everything happens in one place, one flat plane, I guess you could say, on the stage play. So Denver and I went about kind of, I don't know, extrapolating and making it kind of a 3D kind of a thing. Putting it in an actual kitchen, putting it outside, and different things like that. So that was actually kind of fun to pull it all apart. Denver's got some pretty good experience doing movies and documentaries, and him and I have been working together for years doing commercials and doing things like that. So he was definitely played a huge part in kind of pulling this out and making it a little bit bigger than it actually is. So.
Denver, you and I have worked together. I know you're a whiz behind the camera. When you're sitting there watching the play, are you already envisioning how you can shoot it?
No, but only because it was such an engrossing experience. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit that I got choked up watching it, and so that is when I knew that, okay, this could be an awesome movie if we can kind of capture that emotion and that drama. So I was so caught up in it that I wasn't yet thinking about how it could be translated, but once we started working on it, it was pretty easy just to find kind of the little beats in the scenes and use that as kind of a natural breaking point to, maybe make that a different day or move it into a different location. So
Yeah, he had some great suggestions to kind of take what was on stage and move it around a little bit, little Quentin Tarantino kind of, move this here and move that there, and it worked really well. Really well.
Barb, when they suggested changes in order to make the film work, how did you react to them saying, we want to change your work a little
She
bit?
said, absolutely not.
How dare you?
Well, no, when the first couple scenes that I watched, I was feeling kind of like the ownership of the play. But once I realized that this was their interpretation of my play, this was their thing, it was easy to stand back and say, yeah, that's your thing. It's your interpretation of my play Twilight, but it's a different thing. So.
Okay. Now, the theme that's present in the film is something just about everyone has to experience at some point, and that's dealing with an aging parent and when it's time to move them out of the home. Talk about dealing with that. Are any of you able to borrow from personal experience when shooting this film?
Very recently, well, not very, a couple of years. Pretty much my whole family, they were older as I was growing up, so I knew that there would be a certain point in time where that age would catch up, and it did. And I definitely had to deal with that with all my parents, with my aunt, with my uncle, with my mom. And as I was watching the play, editing the play, putting it together, there's a lot of similarities and things that as it was unfolding, I said, well, yeah, I had to do that. I had to do that. You know, the story really is about a son who is dealing with an aging mother who, you know, she's getting on in age. The father's now deceased, and the son has to decide what to do next, and it's not easy. You have to make decisions for the parent that you never want to make, you know, and they don't want to go to some, you know, nursing home. They want to stay in their house, but sometimes it's not possible, and that's really the tough part about this story, and it's real.
And then there's kind of a supernatural twist. Without giving too much away, do you want to talk about that twist a little bit?
Her dead husband brings some changes to the...
Communicates through a medium.
Not through a medium.
Well, for
an inanimate object, let's say.
Yeah, I guess that's better.
It kind of has a magical realism quality to where it's totally believable, and it's not too far-fetched, although it could never happen.
It leaves the question is, like, is she, like, getting into a little dementia, or is this really happening? And that was the Twilight Zone sort of twist to it, is like, you know, is this real, or is this just in her imagination?
And that's another theme that I think is an interesting theme in this film is that longing, that desire to communicate with a lost loved one. So you're touching on some pretty emotional, deep themes here.
Yeah.
And Gertrude,
oh my
really,
God.
she pulls that in, and good luck not bawling when you see this thing, because she's just wonderful on it. Yeah, I can't say enough for it, and Mark as well. He's wonderful. They're both great in the film. So
terrific. So talk about, now you're in production. How long did it take? And talk about the making of the movie.
We started working hard at it. We had some really great long days, and we got a lot of you know, forward momentum. And then unfortunately, Gertrude is what
2 or 3.
92 or 3 years old. And sharp as a tack. Unfortunately, she had a bit of a fall. We weren't quite done, so we had to wait almost about
6 months.
Year,
about
6 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
There was a big lull. So, you know, we got back to it, and we got back into the swing of things, and she jumped right back in. But yeah, it's been a while, which is fine, because I had a chance to cut it all together. I knew exactly what we needed when we started shooting again. It was actually good. So I'm just happy to see it done and show it to the world.
Any challenges, Denver, shooting the film? Any obstacles that you encountered besides
Yes, the biggest challenge was it's essentially two people talking, even though they're in different locations, and what they're saying is really interesting and well written. It's just, how do you make that visually stimulating and interesting looking? So, you know, I spent a lot of time just figuring out, okay, well, this little bit of dialogue, we'll shoot it this way, because that'll kind of heighten what they're saying and heighten the emotion, and this, we can shoot it this way, make it maybe a little bit more loose and open and
I
relaxed.
suggested a car chase, but he wasn't in on that at all.
That'll be the sequel.
That's
The return of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
terrific. And so you shoot the movie, and then the process of editing starts. Now you got a little head start, right? Editing.
Yeah.
How long did it take to cut it all together?
I would say it took me a couple of months.
Oh wow.
I had it all cut together and ready to go, but the re-edits, the going back and saying, well, maybe it works a little bit better this way, and Denver had some great suggestions, like I said, how to move it around and do things. So you know, it probably took about a month to get the first rough edit, and then ever since we've been kind of just tweaking it, and I think we've got a really nice mix at this point.
Well, For the editing process, and I'm curious about this, being a filmmaker myself and trying to give some insight to the people watching. Talk about some of the challenges of editing. I know when I've cut films together, some of the challenges were like color correction and continuity. Did you face those challenges? And
No, we do. My company, A2 Creative, has been around for almost 15 years now. So we do a lot of work out of LA. We do a lot of movie work. So this is kind of what we do. We just haven't actually jumped into making the movie itself. So all the tools are there, all the techniques, all the things that we can do, and we have done, and we do every day. It's just a matter of kind of shifting gears a little bit and putting the emotion in there, putting the I don't know, cutting for effect, and things like that. I mean, that was really the challenge. And plus, this first project, this is actually our maiden voyage, I guess, in trying to do our own thing. It was basically just Denver and I working as a team on set shooting. He was shooting, I was lighting, moving stuff. I was shooting. I mean, just back and forth. I mean, for me, that was more of the challenge, is just trying to get everything done that a 10-person crew would do with 2 people.
have you allowed any of the actors or any other, Barb, have you seen the cut of the movie? Do you allow that?
No.
So
I have not seen it.
when is the big premiere?
We're gonna do like a little focus group before it actually airs on is it
September 26th.
September 26th at Village Players. Red carpet event. It's going to be fantastic. It's sort of a thank you for allowing us to take her play, which was basically based at Village Players, and it's going to be a fun event. September 26th. Don't miss it.
Now, before we get into a clip, you mentioned to me earlier that you wrestled with 2 endings. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, one ending. Barb had an ending that was slightly longer. It was a little bit more of a whole other scene. I had the concept of maybe shortening it up and kind of boom, all of a sudden it's done, kind of a thing. Well, we shot it both ways. We have it. It's done. I think I like Barb's ending better. It's
we don't want to reveal it.
It's touching. It's really hard to talk about it without telling you what's what. But her ending is a little longer, and it's really kind of touching. And the way that we did it with some music and things like that, it really turned out great. So I think that's the cut we're going to use. But we're also going to show the other ending as well.
That'll be the bonus feature.
Yeah, the bonus features, right.
Now, you brought some clips with you. Set up this first clip.
I did. First clip, this is a initial discussion with Alan and Marjorie, which is the 2 characters in the movie. They're talking in the kitchen, and this is when we first see the device that I guess the communication takes place through.
Terrific. All right, let's take a look at a clip from On the Line.
Hey, look at this, Mom. Can't believe you still have it. What was that, like 2 years old? Hello? What? You looking for a little boy who used to play here? Well, sorry to tell you this, but he grew up. Quite a long time ago, actually. And he's quite a success. Well, just ask the lady of the house.
Oh, this is silly. I'm sorry. Alan can't talk right now. He has work to do. Oh, you always did have your father's sense of humor.
Oh, Mom, I saw some of Dad's war stuff down there. I'll bring it up at one of the next loads.
Frank would not be happy about this, Alan.
Mom.
The day we bought this house, he said it would be ours until the day we died. He said I'd never have to worry about finding a place to stay. He was a good provider, your dad.
Well, Dad's been gone a long time now, Mom. You can't take care of yourself anymore. I gotta go back downstairs. Still some stuff we need to sort through.
Hello? 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 well, this is just ridiculous. Hello? Is there anyone there?
Welcome back to Short Film Showcase. I'm Joe Johnson, and we are now joined by two of the cast members, the primo actors in the film, Gertrude and Mark. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
Share with us your experience of making this film. Well, let's start with you, Gertrude. You were in the theatrical version of this story.
That's correct.
And then you were asked to do the film. Compare and contrast what it's like acting on stage versus acting in front of a camera.
Oh, mercy. I miss the audience.
Yeah?
Right. Because the audience is half of it. And that's what I missed.
So you missed that immediate feedback from your performance.
Right.
Do you feel that on stage versus being in front of the camera, you either have to project more or rein it in?
Yes, definitely. Yes, you project on the stage. That was something that you had to be careful of.
When you were in front of the cameras, did anyone like Alan have to warn you to take it down a notch?
I don't remember that they did.
He's nodding. Yes. Talk about that, Alan.
Especially him.
Talk about directing someone for the theater versus for a film. What are the challenges and differences?
I do a fair amount of stage work myself, so it's always get it out to the audience, get it out to the back row. And then on the other side of it, doing the film work that I do in my normal day's work, you see there's a chance for a little bit more nuance, and it just relax a little bit more. So both of them, when we first started out, were stage all the way, and we were blowing through. You know,
Definitely some pros and cons to transferring from the stage to film. Where in stage, obviously, you get to bring it out more, it'd be a little more out of the box a little bit. And you got to rein it in, really rein it in. I mean, Denver kept saying to me, keep it inside, keep it inside. But I think with film, the pro side of it would obviously be a chance to perfect your craft. Whereas in theater, you're doing it live, that's it, you make a mistake, it's done.
Yeah.
But in film, it's like we go through, 10 takes or even more at a time, so you get a chance. I get to do that again. Yeah. I get to do it, a little differently this time. See if that works better. So, I like that aspect of it. But I like Gertrude. I kind of miss the audience's reaction at times. I know that on stage, the audience is a major factor in your performance. In rehearsals, I'm never 100%. Until I actually get in front of an audience.
Oh, you're a marker, huh?
I mean, I've actually had directors. Yeah, I've actually had directors say to me, "Where'd that come from?"
Because they didn't see it in rehearsal.
Yeah, in rehearsal, we couldn't get that out of you. Now all of a sudden, here you are. You got it.
Yeah.
Where
so
they
there's
come
an
from.
energy you feed off of.
Definitely an energy. But like I said, on film, there's a different kind of energy. I love the film process as well. The perfection of the craft, honing your skills a little bit more. Yeah, it
reminds me of a line that Rodney Dangerfield had when they did the movie Caddyshack. He was used to doing stand-up comedy in front of a crowd, and here he is doing his first movie. And as he's delivering his lines, he's breaking out into a sweat, and they stop and they go, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "I'm terrible. Nobody's laughing." And they said, "No, you can't laugh in front of the camera. You'll ruin the soundtrack."
We're all laughing inside.
Yeah. So you guys can relate to that. Have you been in front of a camera prior to this film?
No, and one of the points about all of this to me is at a performance on the stage, that one evening you're doing it, and it's between you and the audience, and if you flub, okay, it's gone, and you go on, and everybody forgets it. If you've got that in your little can, it lives forever. So you have to be very careful.
That's right.
That's where the blooper reels come from.
Right.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I've actually done some, but not film work, other than being extra in a few films here and there. I did a 5-hour energy commercial. If you blink, you might have missed it. And that was kind of experience. I mean, I played a construction worker. I don't know if you remember the one with the cowboy, and he comes onto the construction site. He says, "Hey, boys, throw away your lattes." So we must have thrown those suckers over our shoulders, 30 times, and the weather was just ridiculous that day. My hands were just totally numb after, the 5th or 6th time tossing that thing. So a lot of things you have to go through film. You know,
Yeah.
I can understand the hardships that a lot of actors on screen go through. It's,
Yeah, we ran these guys through a lot of different takes, so it was
Yeah.
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Gertrude, what's your history? How long have you been doing theater?
Well, in 1940, I was working in Detroit and joined Detroit Civic Players, and that lasted for about most of the 40s. And then in 1950, I was married, so we raised our family, and I sort of put the theater aside for a few years. And so I got back to Village Players in 1988.
1988, and been doing it ever since.
And been with them ever since.
Terrific. So you just
Right.
kind of do it for fun, do it for a hobby, or?
Right, it's just a hobby, right.
Yeah.
And this was quite a departure for me to do this particular kind of a role too, because it's usually character parts and comedy.
And wait till you see it. It's fantastic.
nobody else could play the role.
I met Gertrude on a production of Murder on the Nile at Village Players, and she was just phenomenal. And I remember one of the things that really stuck out to me is that every night during bows, she would come out, and I would be already out there, and watching her come out, she'd give me a little wink every day. And I thought, man, you got a little twinkle in your eye, you.
So,
Fantastic.
having this experience in front of the camera, do you have a taste for it now? Like, do you want to do more of that?
I think it would be a lot of fun. Yes, I enjoyed it very
On the
much.
line 2.
Pardon?
On the line
The sequel.
Hey,
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. Did I say the right thing?
The sequel where I throw you
Yes,
out.
definitely I would do it again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The interesting thing about doing film is that it's preserved, it's archived.
Yes.
It will, be here long after we're all gone. So that's what I find fascinating about film. It's a little bit of a time capsule.
Yes.
Yeah. Mark, what's your preference, theater or film?
Well, that's a toughie. I mean, I love both actually. I've been performing on stage for many years, probably a good 25 years or so. I love the energy on stage, the reaction you get from the audience. But with film, like I said before, it's the perfection of the craft. It's that more scientific side, I guess, of an actor that kind of comes out, trying to perfect everything that I love so much as well. I'm not just in it for for the glory, in film. I really enjoy getting into a character and seeing how far or where I can go with it and really perfecting that.
So you haven't seen it yet. You're looking forward to seeing the finished product.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Little
definitely.
butterflies, you think maybe, or?
Well, I personally don't like. I mean, when I'm on stage, I always said somebody who's going to film the play. And I never really enjoy watching myself on film so much because why is that? Because you're only focusing on yourself.
Oh, right. Yeah. Instead of like an ensemble.
Yeah, well, you should view it as a whole, but we all have egos, and we're all going to look at ourselves, and then we're always going to notice, what we're doing wrong, or supposedly what we're doing wrong. So we're like, they always catch me in certain profiles. I'm like, why'd they do that, or why did I say it that way? When in actuality, it's probably a lot better than I originally would have believed.
Now, throughout the length of the play and throughout the film, you're the only two characters beside the disembodied spirit of.
There are some.
Yeah,
there
actually,
are
my
some
father.
cameos.
Oh,
yeah.
there are some.
His
My
father
father
is-
makes a cameo.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Who's also
Barb,
theater.
Barb, the writer.
Yeah.
She also
But I
pops
only
in and has
react.
a little part.
I only react with you.
And then there's a strange woman in bed. See, I'm in a bed one day and I turn around and
about
here's
it?
this woman just right there in my bed.
Is that difficult, Gertrude, to carry almost an entire play or an entire film on your shoulders?
No,
You enjoy it, huh?
I didn't think I was carrying it on my shoulders at all, really.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you, this was just a real treat to do this particular part, though, really, because with my given age, this is a very timely topic. And I have many friends who have gone through all this business, and I'm still going through these same conversations with all those people.
Right.
And so it wasn't at all hard to get right into it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And
And
she's
you were
great to
able
work with.
tap into that emotion of the experience.
And I thought Barbara just wrote a great piece.
Yeah.
She was just right on with all her lines. Half of her lines I've heard from other people. Really, it was
Yeah.
that good.
Right. So it really taps into something.
It really does.
Yeah, great. All right, we have one more clip we want to set up. Alan, tell us about this second clip.
This is another clip with these two on stage. It's a part where the character Alan comes up from the basement and he kind of catches her talking again on the phone, and she's very resolute at that point, and where she, you know, what do you think, I'm crazy now, and I'm not ready to go, you know, kind of a thing. And I thought that was a really kind of a good example of her resoluteness, I guess. Resoluteness, is that
That's a good word.
I-
That's a good word, right?
All right, let's take a look at this clip from On the Line.
Do you have the radio on or something?
No, why?
Well, I don't know. I thought I heard talking. You weren't talking to yourself again, were you, Mom?
No. I was just looking over these tools, and I may have been saying them out loud. I don't know. What's wrong with that? Are you going to tell me I'm crazy now?
Oh, Mom. You gotta admit, you've been talking to yourself a lot lately. And you've been a little forgetful. That's another reason why it'd be good for you to be someplace where somebody can keep an eye on things for you. What if you forgot to turn off the stove? Something caught fire.
So you do think I'm losing my mind?
No, Mom, but you're getting older and these things start to happen.
I'm all right, Alan. Really, I am. I can take care of myself. A little later, I may need a little extra help, but right now, I'm doing okay.
Well, I don't want to wait till something bad happens, like another fall or a fire or something. What if something happened? We were both at work, huh? People in these neighborhoods are getting robbed too, Mom. I don't want you to think you're here all by yourself. No, this way, there'll be round-the-clock staff looking out for you.
I still don't know why I can't live with you and Linda. With the kids out of the house, you have plenty of room.
Well, we talked about that, Mom. You'd still be alone all day long.
Well, this is just too soon. I'm not ready for all this.
Well, we got a nice little place waiting for you.
I'm not going, Alan. I made up my mind.
And welcome back to Short Film Showcase. Let's wrap things up by pleading to the people that are viewing to come out to the big premiere. Give out that information
Absolutely.
one more time.
The premiere is going to happen on Friday, September 26th at the Birmingham Village Players Theater on Woodward Avenue. I believe it's 34600 Woodward Avenue. You can buy tickets online at Village Players. Is it Village Players?
BirminghamVillagePlayers.com.
BirminghamVillagePlayers.com.
Okay.
You can also buy by calling 248-644-2075.
All right. Terrific.
Red carpet event.
Red
Black
carpet,
tie, baby.
paparazzi.
Black tie.
Everyone looking forward to the big premiere?
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
All right. I'm looking forward to it too.
Paparazzi.
Bring my camera. All right. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you for watching Short Film Showcase. I'm Joe Johnson. We'll see you next time.